Madison, Thursday, October the 3rd, 2024, work session. This meeting is the meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. Ms. Allen, would you please call the roll?
Yes, Mrs. Currington?
Yes.
Mr. Lumpkin?
Yes.
Mrs. Simmons?
Yes.
And Mrs. Cherry?
Yes. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next on our agenda, we will have our mission statement read by Chanel Nixon, I'm sorry.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
My
evening.
My name is Chanel Nixon. I am a senior at Ram Nation Virtual Academy. My plans for my future are to attend Columbus Community College for drug addiction with the intentions to become a psychiatrist. I would like to thank you all for having me here. And with that, the mission of the Trotwood-Madison City Schools is to graduate all students prepared to excel in a global society with a commitment to lifelong learning and guaranteeing a challenging curriculum facilitated by an innovative and dedicated staff, community participation, and state-of-the-art resources in a stimulating atmosphere. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is subject E, to adopt the agenda. But before a motion is put to the floor, is there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, there are just two minor changes on the personnel agenda. I've provided everyone a copy of the agenda. A5, under A5, recommendation for approval of the following certified supplements. The stipend split is highlighted. A5, same recommendation. The stipend split is highlighted. And A7, corrected position title, and that is highlighted. Those are the only changes to the personnel agenda.
I do need a motion to adopt the agenda with the changes with A5, 2 changes in A5, and 1 change in A7.
I motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll second.
It's been moved and second. Ms. Allen, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Currington?
Yes.
Mr. Lumpkin?
Yes.
Mrs. Simmons?
Yes.
And Mrs. Cherry?
Yes, motion passes to adopt the agenda with the changes. Item 2, board report. Do you have any board report? We have none. Item 3, treasurer's report.
I do have 2 items this evening, which both of them are for information. The first one is the approval of the September 5th, 2024 work session minutes and the September 19th, 2024 business meeting minutes, and those are attached. That's under 3A. 3B is the approval of the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission, OFCC annual report. That is attached. I wanted to go over what that actually is. Every 5 years, we are supposed to submit an annual report for the board approval. And this is for expenditures for FY 2024 from July 1, 2023 through June 30th, 2024. It has total maintenance expenditures of $1,462,233.42. Our 034 maintenance fund as of June 30th, 2024 is $237,494.30. Our permanent improvement fund balance that is available for capital renewal as of June 30th, 2024 is $510,490.57. We have 5 full-time maintenance staff. We have 24 full-time custodial staff. We use, to track our maintenance, we use our Go FMX system. And at this time, through June 30th, 2024, we had 100% scheduled PM and inspection activities performed from July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024. And that report has to be submitted to OFCC. And like, again, that was for information. So those are the only 2 items I had this evening.
Okay. And you said the report is for every 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Item number 4, Superintendent's Report.
I do have a few items this evening. One for approval of the personnel agenda, D. But item A initially is the approval of student activity statement budget via the principal's account for Trotwood-Madison Middle School. Attached is the review and detailed information with regards to what those expenses will be and the amount of money they plan to raise, and this is for information. Item B, approval of the commission check for Madison Park from Life Touch. Commission check of $135.54 from Mrs. Wilburn at Madison Park. That's for information. Item C, approval of the Walmart donation from Mrs. Allen, making reference to the information she shared last meeting, the donation of supplies, I believe school supplies for students that we are going to house in our soon-to-be open Student Resource Center. More information will be forthcoming with regards to that, and that is for information. And item D, the personnel agenda. Personnel agenda as described with the updated changes. And most specifically, item A4, asking for approval tonight. If you can see A4, the number of substitute teachers that we need to get approved and get working here in the building. So most specifically, that is why I'm asking for approval tonight. A1, approval of certified resignation. 2, recommendation of approval of the following new hires. 3, recommendation for the approval of the following salary correction. 4, those substitute teachers. A4. A5, recommendation of the certified supplementals. A6, recommendation of the certified science of reading, PD. A7, recommendation for the certified supplemental. And then B1, classified recommendation for resignation. B2, recommendation for the approval of the following classified hires. B3, recommendation for the approval of the following adjustment and training. 4, recommendation for the approval of the following certified staff to be used on an as-needed basis. And B5, recommendation for the approval of the following classified event staff. And B6, a recommendation of the approval of the following student workers. I have also provided the updated format, and I wanted to continue to provide this over the next couple of days until we transition, but the updated format, which is in red, but denotes the same information, but just in a little different format. Last time we discussed this, and I wanted to just show you how it relates. So basically, it has the separation of services, resignations. It has the appointments, changes and adjustments, changes and assignments and salary adjustments for certified staff, and it does the same for classified staff. So it just puts it in a more concise format with all of the same information, but it does not have as many pages, and it's a little more organized per se from that standpoint. With that, I am asking for approval of the personnel agenda this evening. And we can have a little further dialogue if you'd like about the change in format, some things that you may want to see different. As you see on number 43, 42, 38. Those were the corrected items, the same as they were on the original format.
I like the format.
That's all I have.
I need approval, I need a motion to approve the personnel agenda as stated by interim superintendent, Mr. Howard. Do you have any questions?
I don't.
Questions?
I'll make the motion for the personnel, to approve the personnel agenda
I'll second.
with those changes.
I'll second that.
It's been moved in second. Ms. Allen, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, Mrs. Simmons,
Yes.
Mr. Lumpkin,
Yes.
Mrs. Currington,
Yes.
and Mrs. Cherry.
Yes. So motion passes for the approval of the personnel agenda with changes. Item number 5, discussion items.
Okay, I have provided some updates with some additional documentation. If you pull out your folders, I've provided everybody a folder. Get used to those folders, because I try to put information in them for you. The first, I know there has always been discussion before about our status of students graduating and where we are. So if you look at item A, denoted item A in your folder. You get A? I missed you. Now. So item A is the, just a summary of where we are with our seniors here in the district at this point. Speaking with Mr. McCray, these are rough numbers based on the start of the school year, with the understanding that once kids get through the first quarter and through the semester, we will have a lot more solid numbers, because you can actually see those kids that have worked through the first quarter and then get a much better gauge of where students are. Information to share is that we have roughly between 209 and 210 seniors, 4-year students. On track status update will be available at the semester. With that 209, 210 number, roughly about 175 to 180 of them would be considered on track if they do what they're supposed to do. Now, that also includes kids that have already met the credit requirement, already fulfilled, state requirements, and kids that are on their way. There are the number that we definitely want to be concerned about is that 20 to 25 seniors that he gave me that are sitting with 10 credits or less. So there are about 20 to 25 kids that are sitting with 10 credits or less. So what Mr. McCray and I talked about is putting together a plan to try to identify those kids, because even though some of them do have 10 credits, there is a possibility that we can work with them to do what they need to do to get themselves to that finish line. And it may not be in our school buildings every day. There may be some alternatives. So with that, we're going to determine that which of those students can make that substantial effort and provide the support in the normal classroom setting. And then we're going to research alternative options for students that have extreme credit deficiencies and develop a plan of support for those students, which could include, but is not limited to, reassignment to credit deficiency programs or graduation support programs, research and discuss alternative pathways towards diplomas. And what we will do is we'll update where we are as far as those numbers, likely in November, the completion of the first quarter, more towards the semester. And really at the semester, that semester number, we'll have a little better picture of our numbers. And then additionally, the plan, just from a holistic standpoint, is develop a more defined and focused process on identifying extreme credit deficient students at the end of the first semester of 9th grade. establish programming to support what we would call an early warning system, and with that programming, also establish programming to support transferring students that are credit deficient upon enrollment. So what that's saying in summary is that putting together a process, and we discussed this in our district level cabinet yesterday, this morning actually, putting together a process of identifying students, ninth grade, after that first semester, that are starting to show concerns with possible credit deficiencies, and having an early warning system or something that triggers some additional levels of support, so we don't have these kids going through 10th, 11th, 12th grade at the with having the same aspect of credit deficiency. So that is pretty much in a summary where we are with graduation as of almost the completion of first quarter of the school year. And we'll have some more information as we move through the quarter and the end of the first semester. Any questions?
I will probably email you my questions.
Okay, no problem. The next update, I believe, was concerning the driver's ed program. I want to make sure I'm on that, right? Yes, driver's education grant. So identified as document B in your folder, you will see an email between Ms. Smith, Mr. Smith, Ms. Jill Adams, and information submitted to Board President Cherry, just with regards to the status of the driver's ed grant for last year, the number of students that we had that participated, a change in the application process. The second paragraph talks about our original application process required students to have less than 5 unexcused absences and at least a 2.5 GPA to be eligible to participate. We wanted to start providing service sooner than that because the 5 unexcused absences would have to be after a quarter. And we wanted to start providing the opportunity for these kids to take the driver's ed programming a little earlier. So we're working through a process with Ms. Adams to put some things in place where we can identify kids that are en route to have those qualifications. And then it also talks about students pay the online coursework, which is about $50, and the grant covers the $600, which is a large expense, the $600 behind the wheel instruction. And that is provided by a variety of different driving schools. We shared the flyer at the Back to School Bash. I think Ms. Adams says we have maybe maybe two kids that are in the program right now. And we're gonna actively start recruiting a little more with the state, because the state came in, I think, today. Maybe the state came in today to review the driver's ed grant from last year. And she got the approval to start having a little leeway on those absences. Attached also is the flyer that was shared, and we're looking to hopefully get more young people who meet that criteria in the program.
Is this information shared on Parent Square also?
I will share it on Parent Square. Yeah, I will share it on Parent Square. Absolutely. And that's all I have with regards to driver's ed. Any questions?
No.
Okay. All right.
Is this just for, is it an adult section? We have some members of the Board of Education.
Yeah, I don't think it's, I don't think it's for adults.
A refresher.
I saw some things on Bradfield that scared me a little bit.
Well, thank you for that update on discussion items. Now we're on item 6 for treasurer comments.
I had a couple things I wanted to share this evening. The first one was I have this flyer in front of you, the desk, and it indicates that we will be having a breast cancer wellness night and awareness 5K run walk on October 19th at 9 o'clock at the Trotwood-Madison Sportsplex. We have 2024 sponsors: Kettering Health, New York Brazil Pizza Place, Foodalicious Fruits, and Melanin Walkers. Two of our employees, Anita Skipper, who works for me, who's an accounts payable specialist, and Kalina Brown, who is the secretary to the director of athletics. They took it upon themselves to organize this, and so I wanted to bring to your attention that the last time we had a walk, I think it was, May maybe or something? But, we're just promoting this breast cancer awareness.
Very nice.
So, hopefully you all can come out and walk a couple laps, or at least donate. It says build your team, you can have teams, and they're obviously trying to raise money, and the money will be donated to the Breast Cancer Foundation. The second item I just wanted to say, yesterday, I had an opportunity to go over to the high school, and my sorority, Delta Sigma Theta sorority, along with the mayor of Trotwood and the mayor of Dayton, sponsored the voter registration, and we were able to register 40 kids. So I thought that was amazing. So I was really, really excited about that. So that was the second.
You guys like the mayor, where we're
And the
invited?
third item is just a reminder about the OSB, All School Boards Association Region Fall Conference that's going to be held on Thursday, October 10th. I know Mrs. Potter's tried to reach out to everyone to see who's coming to that so that we can secure a table. So, anybody who wants to go? And you going, Mrs. Chair? Yes. Okay. So, we need to know something, probably by tomorrow, so we can see what we do. And the last thing is, I have attached, and I sent this letter to, the board members, and I won't read the whole thing, but this is, my, formal notice of my retirement effective August 1st, 2025. My last day will be Thursday, July 31st, 2025. And so I put some more details in there, and we can continue talking about that. But I wanted to officially tell the community as well as the board that I will be retiring.
Are you sure?
I am absolutely positive.
We hope you change your mind by July.
By July. Okay. So that's all I have this evening.
Maybe.
Okay. Superintendent comments.
I do have a few comments this evening. I have provided the board with my October update. It is in your file, in your folder. Just want to make reference to just a couple of dates that I have upcoming. 10, 15, and 16, I will be out of the district with OPES training, that is the Ohio Principals Evaluation System. So I will be out of the district on those 2 days. Then also 10, 11, and 10, 18, there is no school for students on 10, students on 10, 11, and no school for students and staff on 10, 18. That's Conference Comp Day and Records Day. Also, I've highlighted building activities and events in each building. If you look at the ELC, they got a lot of cool things going on, and then every building really does. They have a lot of cool things going on. Want to make sure I mention high school homecoming is coming up next week, the 11th. We are also going to, with homecoming, we're going to recognize Mr. Stone at halftime. I know he's getting tired of being recognized, but probably not. Mr. Stone's probably not tired of being recognized. But we are going to just, right before the homecoming introductions, we're going to present Mr. Stone a plaque and a couple other awards in front of the crowd. We're going to recognize him at halftime. And then the homecoming court and King and Queen will be announced. And the dance is Saturday night at the high school. So with that, that is the update. And you can take a look and always feel free to stop by. Just, let us know you want to stop by any of those events. You're good to go. The second item I have in your folder, identified as document C, is a description and application of the Montgomery County College Promise Program. I was contacted by Chad Wynn, who is the superintendent of Mad River City Schools, and he sits on the executive board of College Promise, and He sent the email to me directly, and he wanted to know if Trotwood could re-engage in the program. I guess over the last several years, couple of years, we have not had any students participate in College Promise. And just real quick summary, what College Promise is, it is a opportunity for first-generation college students to go to college free of charge, starting at, I believe, 2 years at Sinclair, and then move on to a 4-year institution in Ohio, if you fulfill and meet some of the guidelines that are outlined. So talking to Chad, I reached out to Mr. Gibson because what Chad didn't know is that I actually sat on the original cohort of College Promise when I was a middle school principal, and I couldn't believe we hadn't had kids go through it, because one of the young people on the brochure, the College Promise brochure that they share online, is actually one of my students who was a part of the first cohort when I was the middle school principal. So I reached out to Mr. Gibson, and we talked about how we can re-engage our kids and re-engage our families in this, because it's an incredible opportunity. Now, as you can see, there are some things that they have to go through. There are some guidelines and some some things in the application that they're going to have to be responsible for. But I provided everybody an opportunity. An application. I provided everybody an application so you can read through it. Because if there are 8th graders, because it is designated for 8th grade students, if there are 8th graders that you know, that you may know, give them the information. But I want to make sure on our end, we are meeting with parents, we're sharing this information, and we are giving our kids an opportunity to apply for this if they qualify. So we're going to get together, myself, Mr. Gibson, and his guidance department, and we're going to set up some opportunities to share this information. But I wanted to provide you guys with the application and the parameters for College Promise. College Promise has been around for a while. Yeah, it's been around for a while, and we used to have kids every year apply, and I was kind of surprised we didn't, but we're gonna make sure we at least give our kids the opportunity.
Because the application is a little lengthy, Mr. Howard, are we gonna offer parent support in completing it?
That's going to be a conversation we have in the
Okay.
follow-up with Mr. Gibson, and I will follow up and make sure I let you guys know. Yeah. And that's what we did, and I'm talking.
It could be a little intimidating.
Yeah, it actually
for
can.
some,
Right.
But if we
Little
could,
grandparents.
maybe provide some support in completing
Right.
it, we might get more
And-
interested.
And I know the executive director, when we did this, when we went through that, like I said, the initial cohort, this might have been 2008 or 2009, we actually, once we got kids signed up, we actually were allowed to give information to the kids, and the kids went to Sinclair, and they used to have people support them with the application, the parents, because they started here, they came out here, met with the parents, and then there was another meeting at Sinclair, where Sinclair kind of took ownership of, of the application process. So we're going to reconnect this. We're just about 2 weeks behind. 2 weeks behind this 2 weeks behind schedule in regards to the to the introduction and the application opening. But November 14th is that deadline, so we're gonna make sure we do our best and put our best foot forward. All right. And that's all I have, other than Ms. Allen, is just gonna steal everybody's thunder, because I know we were all probably gonna say something about the voter registration thing. It was awesome. Kudos to your folks, Ms. Allen, and it was great to see 40 kids register to vote. And I think we're gonna do the best that we can to try to get some kids down there on the 10th. We're gonna do the best that we can. Talk to Ms. Starks. As always, anything before 9:15, 9:20 is a struggle for us, because we're running school buses. So we're gonna do the best that we can to try to get those down. She's worked magic before, and I'm gonna work with her to see if we can figure something out.
I mean, I don't think they actually, Dayton Public may go at 9:30, we can go at 10:30, and still do the same thing. I just don't want us to be pressured to go with them if it's not gonna be conducive for the district. But maybe at 10:30, it would still be good for them to do the same thing.
Yeah, anything after 9:15,
Yeah.
9:20, we're fine.
Just as long as we can get them all there.
Yeah, we're fine. And The 10th?
The 10th.
The 10th. And I'll work with Mr. McCray and Ms. Starks to see what we can do. But, yeah, anything after, 9, like I said, 9:15, 9:20, that wouldn't be a problem. Did you guys discuss actually taking the kids down to vote as well?
So that's what happens.
Okay.
The children actually go down and actually vote
Okay,
together.
right.
Early voting starts October the 8th,
Right.
and so the earlier you get down there, the better.
Yeah, that would be an issue, getting a bus together
Yeah.
and, of course, they're 18-year-olds, so we can get them down there and they can go down there and exercise their right. All right.
So you think we can get a date?
Well,
Schedule
the
for
date
that.
would be
The
the
date is the
10th.
10th.
The date would be the 10th, so we just gotta get a time. Yeah, we just gotta get a time where I can get 3 or 4 bus drivers to.
Okay.
Well, if we're just taking the kids, I only need 1 bus, but if we
Right.
take the band down, because was there a parade?
Well, I think if there is a parade, and I think the reason why they requested Trotwood band is because they're the best,
No.
and they needed a band, and
Okay.
I think we had a bigger band, and
So we'll try, but
So we are sending the band or we're not?
we're gonna see if we can get buses off the fleet run, off the morning run. If I can get 2 or 3 buses.
well, I don't think we need to take the entire band. Maybe if we just get one bus,
Okay.
whatever can fit on one bus. Kids,
Parade.
yeah, because the other schools are still gonna bring a band. They're gonna bring some of their band,
Their whole band.
Okay.
yeah.
I'll follow up with you guys, let you know, next couple of days.
Send the half of it
Okay.
as well.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
All right, that's all I have.
All right. Next up is board comments. Mrs. Currington.
I wanna, thank Miss Allen, and I know she, did submit her resignation letter. That's gonna be a great loss to the district. So I just wanna thank you for all your hard work, for all that you do to keep us fiscally, financially responsible in the district. And I'm hoping by July you change your mind. So. And Ms. Nixon, you did a fabulous job. So kudos to you as well. And as always, I thank you all for taking the time out to come and sit with us during this hour or two. And I'm excited about the voter registration. The kids were so excited. And so I'm hoping, praying that we can get them all down there. It is, for me, it's one of your fundamental rights, and I think everybody should exercise it. I remember the first time I went to vote, I was ecstatic, and I've been voting ever since. So I'm hoping that that's something they can do with other children in our community. I think the first time, if you do it in that way, it's gonna be something that they'll remember and hopefully continue to do. And that's all I have. That's all I have.
Okay. Mr. Lumpkin?
Congratulations on your retirement, and we all hope you change your mind, but given the fact that you told us no 6 times, I'm gonna go on and say that you're pretty solid in your decision, so congratulations on that. And I'm just hoping that the Deltas made the mayor of Trotwood wear red. That would have been good, since she's an AKA.
She
And
wore
she
red.
did, that's good. Hopefully you got,
And red boots.
She had red dress on and red boots.
well, that's
It was
awesome.
really nice.
That's
And the mayor
awesome.
of Dayton also wore red.
And it's actually really good to see the mayor of Trotwood and the mayor of Dayton actually
It
appear
was.
together. Because that hasn't
was.
happened in a very long time. It hasn't happened in a very long time. And thank the staff and Mr. Howard. I know the district got beat up a little bit online yesterday. We appreciate you guys' swift action on some of the things that happened and taking care of that situation. We don't like to highlight, and we're not going to entertain highlighting negative things about our district. We'll leave that to the politicians who need that attention. And that's it for me.
Well, thank you. Vice President Dion Simmons.
Thank
again, Ms. Allen. Thank you. You keep us on our toes. You're gonna be missed. If you change your mind before July, we would love to have you continue on, but we understand family obligations and just when it's your time. I would like to say the young ladies, whoever are coordinating this, Let's Paint Trotwood Pink, kudos to them. I will definitely mark my calendar, because this is something we all should be paying attention to, and be aware of. So thank that staff for always keeping us on top of and making us aware of health issues. Thirdly, Erica Geist and her group, Be Against Bullying. The Trotwood Community Unity Parade is gonna take place Saturday, from 10 to 2, and there will be family resources for all and a parade, and I think the band will lead, this Saturday, so let's make sure we put that on our calendars and get out and support her as well.
Where are they leading from?
We're just going around the complex.
Yeah, she sent me a flyer for that, so I'll make sure I share that flyer
Yes.
with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I should have printed that out and shared that. She just sent it to me the other day. Mr. Gibson sent it to me.
And that's all I have.
That's Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday.
I think there's also
Something
like
else
a
is going
small
on Saturday.
fair with it too.
Yeah.
It's a resource fair.
Yeah, it's a resource fair.
Yes,
She
it's a
does
resource-
that in
It's the
conjunction.
parade and the
Yeah,
youth resource
right.
fair.
Okay.
Right. yeah.
Together.
And I apologize to Miss
Yes.
Gist about forgetting to pull that
Free
flyer.
food, music, fun, and resources
At the middle school.
at the
Middle
middle school.
school.
I think it's 10 to 2. Did you
10
say?
to 2.
10 to 2, right.
Parade lineup is at 9:30.
Is that all? All right, thank you, Vice President. I just want to, just reiterate the great job that Mrs. Allen has done for our district, and, you will be missed, but congratulations on your upcoming retirement. I also want to, just say thank you so very much to Mr. Howard for being so detailed and giving us, very detailed information and updates on what's going on in the district. I wanted to say that I came on the tail end of it last week with the Title I, over at the middle school. It appeared to be a huge success to have the parents and the students and everyone engaging. I thought that was awesome, so I wanted to just give a kudos to the middle school in reference to that. I hope that we update Parent Square with all of this information, especially with, the voting and the college promise. That is essential, so, I'm gonna be looking forward to viewing that on Parent Square. Ms. Nixon, again, thank you so very much. I don't have,
Maybe more
Great
students
job.
coming out.
yes, I don't have any other comments, so with that, does anyone else have any other comments? Okay, with that being said, I need a motion to enter into executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, license, or regulated individual per BOE policy 0166 and ORC 12122. Action may be taken.
I'll make the motion for us to enter into executive session.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved in second. Ms. Allen, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Simmons?
Yes.
Mr. Lumpkin? Mrs. Carrington?
Yes.
Mr. Lumpkin?
Yes.
And Mrs. Cherry?
Yes, motion passes, and we will enter into executive session at 6:09.